Hey guys, welcome to the lecture series on ethical hacking. In continuation to the last video, what we are discussing about the Trojans, how these Trojans will be behaving, okay, what are the different type of goals that has been there, okay, how we are going to, these Trojans are going to achieve, how they are controlling the entire system resources. In this lecture, we'll be deep diving into the Trojans, how they are going to behave, what are the different type of Trojan toolkits that has been available, distributed Trojans and everything. Let me go with the Trojan infection mechanism, how they are going to affect my own system resources. So it will be mainly discussing about how these malware will be entering into the system via using multiple paths. They may be coming from the any sort of flash memories what we are using, what we will be doing. Okay, unknowingly or unknowingly, I will be using the required pen drive into my system. It may affect the system resources if it is having the Trojan, or else unknowingly or knowingly we'll be installing different type of applications like games or any sort of thing. Apart with the applications what we are downloading and installing, it may have different type of Trojan patches also. So once it has been installed and triggered, automatically it will be simply controlling the entire system resources. So first of all, going with the phishing mails. In the ransomware attack, when we have discussed one of the application regarding to the things that has been happened in the AIMS New Delhi in the year 2022. An employee has got the mail saying that, hey, hooray, you have won some sort of $1 million. Unknowingly, I am simply clicking on that particular link. Automatically, some sort of application has been downloaded without knowing to me in the backend, and it has gained the control over the entire system. It has been encrypted. Okay, these are the things that has been happened. So the phishing mail, the attacker, what it will be doing, it will be simply sending mails to gain the control, to gain the attention of the user with some different type of malicious attachments. Even nowadays, the system resources like operating system, even the mail service is also avoiding these type of phishing mails. Next, going with the malicious downloads. Suppose, let me go with the small Windows application, Windows operating system itself. The Windows operating system, it will be of somewhat of, once we want to use that thing, it will also charged. So what I will be doing, I will be simply checking with the different type of websites where it can be given as free. Not only Windows, different type of applications what we are using, different type of softwares. So instead of paying, what I will be doing, I will be simply checking is there any other websites which can provide the same thing as a free. So unknowingly, if I am downloading those applications, what I am in need of, from unauthorized websites, there is a chance that downloads may also included with the malicious applications. So we should be very much cautious about these things. And drive-by download, what exactly it is of. Whenever we are going to have a visiting a compromised or malicious website, or else any unauthorized website. So automatically what it will be doing, it will be simply alerting the user, or else it will be simply making some sort of triggering us to click on those things. So let me go with the different type of websites. Let me go with the small applications like any sort of porn websites also. So you'll be having some sort of alerts will be displayed there. So what I'll be doing, what we'll be doing, okay, knowingly or unknowingly, we may be thinking that no one is watching us, no one is hacking the required things, but in the backend, total things will be happened in such a manner that whenever once we are clicking on those particular any sort of alerts or else close or any sort of applications, so automatically some sort of patch will be downloaded into our system. Unwanted application. So once we are downloading, once we are seeing any sort of unauthorized or else different type of websites, we should be very much cautious. Removable device infections, like any sort of flash memories. We are very much tend to use these flash memories like USB pen drives. Via using this particular pen drives, also there is a chance of affecting the required system resources. So suppose if I am going to any sort of internet centers or else any sort of public environment networks, so there I am using the pen drives. There is a chance from that particular thing, some sort of unwanted software may enter into our pen drive. Previously, some 5 to 7 years back, 10 years back, I had seen one particular application. It's called as a new folder. So Once a pen drive has been induced into any sort of public environments like internet centers or any sort of where, some sort of virus called as a new folder will be entering into the pen drive. Once it has been copied into my, any sort of information has been copied from the pen drive, automatically the new folder will be entering into our system. What it will be doing is nothing but it will be unnecessarily occupying certain amount of space in our memory. It is like a worm, the behavior is of. It will be simply moving from one place to the other place. It will be triggering also, like a bacteria. It will be regenerating, okay, into multiple things. Once it has been triggered, automatically another new folder has been created. Unknowingly, if I'm clicking on the newly created new folder, automatically a new folder will be created. Okay, this is how the virus will be triggering or also regenerating. Okay, next going with the exploit software vulnerabilities. The attacker, what they will be doing, they will be simply attaching some sort of malicious patch cards or else patches to the genuine software applications. And they will be silently installed into the Trojans, silently enter into the system. And once it has been entered, it will be automatically gains the entire control of my system resources. This is about the infection mechanism, how they are going to be implemented. Next, once it has been implemented, once it has been connected, once it has been entered into our system, how it is going to affect the required system resources. Okay, there is no boundary how it is going to affect our system. Okay, there will be a chance of having severe damage. A serious damage can be there. It may be affecting your own individual, it may be affecting the organizational data, any sort of things. So there is no boundary for how it is going to affect the system resources, especially once we are talking about the Trojans. First of all, let me go with the data theft here. So the Trojans, what it will be doing, once they had been entered into the system, they will be stealing the entire data. Okay, they will be stealing the login credentials, any sort of bank details, credit card details, and different type of things. Let me go with the one of the thing that has been happened in some around 5 to 7 years back, I think so. In the SBI, the attacker, what has been done, they have steal the entire information regarding to the credit card information, like 16 digit of credit card details, and its expiry, its CVV, entire information. So what the thing that has been happened is nothing but after 7 months, SBI has came into known information that something has happened. What is the main problem here is nothing but there is a huge financial thing that has been implemented here. That is nothing. Once the data has been leaked out, okay, in order to maintain the proper client relationship, once again the SBI has created new credit cards. Once again, these new credit cards has been delivered to every individual person. Okay, not creating that credit cards, delivering that thing to every individual persons, automatically we are increasing the cost there. Not only thefting or else stealing the data, it also get the unauthorized remote control or else remote access into my system resources, where the trapdoors and more of the backdoors directly they will be entering into application, and they can do their own operations. It may damage the system resources also. That implies it may corrupt some sort of files, it may delete the data, it may create different type of inconsistent, moreover duplicate data. A normal layman like we may be thinking that information is very much genuine, but it is an updated data that has been done by the attackers via the Trojans. It may degrade the performance of the system also. In some sort of virus or else any sort of applications like Trojans, they will be affecting the boot virus also. It will be affecting the booting of the system, so that the system will not be going to switch on. Okay, not only these things, they are made degrade the system performance also. It may compromise the network. Okay, that implies how the network will be compromised. That implies the firewalls that has been installed by us will not be working properly. They will be allowing all the packets that has been that will be coming into our network. Generally, in packet filtering router that has been implemented in the case of firewalls will be simply filtering the total packets, whether it is of genuine or not, and everything. This will not be implemented. Why? Because already it has been firewall has been already compromised by the Trojan. And it also losing the privacy of the data, what has been maintained by every individual user, and it also losing the reputation of the organization. These are the different type of effects that will be simply seen because of these type of Trojans. Next, going to the how these things will be implemented. What are the different type of tools that has been available to implement these things? Okay, now to gain the remote access, we do have a RAT. That is nothing but the remote access Trojan. Is a tool that has been available. They will be simply providing the attacker with the remote access. Normally, we will be using the Teamweaver also telnet services. So RAT also provides the same services. It will be enabling us to full access. Everything can be accessed. And we do have the keylogger Trojan tools also. Okay, so what the keys that has been pressed by the on the keyboard or else on the touch screen. Okay, we'll be using some sort of tool or else application or even ISIS or any sort of thing. They will be temporarily getting the total information about the keys that has been stroked by the user. And in the sequential order itself, we will be simply typing the entire password. That thing will be simply stored and that will be simply transferred to the attacker. In the next near future, you can use the same password to attack the required system. And we do have the command and control framework. Okay, it will be simply it will be used mainly to manage and more control the entire infected system from a remote centralized server. The attacker will be sitting somewhere in the remote location and he will be controlling the total application via giving some sort of unwanted commands. Payload and moreover the dropper tools. There will be these particular tools will be mainly affecting the system resources and moreover the system resources regarding to the memory and moreover the repositories, directories, any sort of things. The best example is nothing but a donut. And next, going to some sort of packaging or also obfuscation tools. Here, the attacker they will be using these particular tools to modify the Trojan code. At every instant of time, the attackers will not be using the same code. He will be once it is gaining the control, he will be simply triggering. He will be simply making some sort of modification on the existing code that has been already there in the affected system. So he will be simply changing the required codes to get different type of informations. Suppose first starting instant of time, he has entered into the system to gain the credentials about the system login. Next, what it will be doing, he will be simply getting the credentials once it has been simply typed from the keyboard. Not only these things, they will be gaining the control over the entire data. Anything can be happened. And next, how we are going to have the delivery and moreover exploitation tools here. Okay, the security professionals study what they will be doing. They will be simply studying how these particular Trojans are going to behave. So similar to that thing, the ethical hacker also has to behave. Then only he can easily identify what are the mechanism that will be simply followed by the attacker. So via that same path itself, the ethical hacker will also enter into the network and check where the ports has been opened and which particular resource has been already compromised. To check all these particular things, we do have the required phishing kits or also exploit kits. Different type of applications have been already available in the social media. Next, going to the distributing Trojans. How the normal Trojan is very much different to that of the distributing Trojan. Here, these particular Trojans, what they will be doing, these will be using to spread the malware on the target systems. So in my network, we will be having thousands of terminals. The attacker may be a single person. He will be distributing the same unwanted information, also malicious codes into multiple systems and affecting all the system resources. Not only a single system, all the system that has been there in my network. They will be simply, what they will be doing, they will be simply pumping multiple phishing mails. A simple campaign will be done by using these phishing mails. So at least out of the 100 terminals, there may be some sort of layman like me. Okay, they may be very much interested with these particular lotteries and all these things. Okay, they may affect those particular systems. Not only these things, we do have different type of malicious websites has been available. Okay, I am not the single person who may download, who may access the required resources from that particular website. Millions of users has been there in the internet. All may be using the same website to download any sort of things. So at that time, they may affect the multiple systems here. Software privacy and moreover cracked applications. Okay, we do have different type of Trojans. They will be mainly what they will be doing, especially regarding to the pirated softwares. I had given one example regarding to the Windows operating system or any sort of a paid applications. So once I want to download any sort of application, suppose if it is a paid version has been available, what paid things has been available, what I will be doing, I will be simply getting the required information from any sort of pirated websites. So we do have different type of websites, especially connected to you, especially to the any sort of movies. We do have different type of pirated movie websites has been available, like movie rules, different type of things. So instead of going from a genuine websites or else any sort of OTTs, to avoid paying the amount for those OTTs, what a normal layman like me, what I will be doing, I will be simply downloading the movies or else applications or else any sort of software from the pirated websites. At that time, there is a chance, apart with the application, what I am going to download, what I am downloading, and unwanted information can also enter into our system or else into our network. We should be very much cautious about these things. And moreover, the social media and moreover messaging platforms. Sometimes, especially not in the WhatsApp, in the case of Telegram and different type of things. Telegram is previously Telegram doesn't provide any sort of end-to-end encryption mechanism. That's why most of the attackers are also dark web transactions, everything they are using the Telegram to bump request or else unwanted information to millions of users. So this is how the Telegram will be used by most of attackers to make the required communication, to transfer the information, especially using the social media. And also I had said about the one of the case where we can have the transfer of unwanted information by using the flash memories. Once I am sitting in the internet centers, okay, at this instant of time I will be simply doing some sort of suppose I want to create one my resume and I want to apply for some sort of jobs. What I will be doing, I will be simply keeping some sort of pen drive into our internet centers system, and I will be downloading that my resume into the system via the pen drive, and I will be simply doing some sort of modification as per the requirement of the organization for which I am going to apply for a job. And then I'll be simply after applying and everything, what I'll be doing, I'll be simply removing that particular pen drive and moving out from the internet center. But in the back end, there is a chance an unwanted information can come into that particular pen drive. I'm not the single person who is using the internet center system. Okay, every day multiple persons will be simply accessing the same system resources. So here also there will be a chance of having the distributing the same malicious information to multiple legitimate systems. Okay, the first thing is nothing but sending the phishing mails as a campaign to multiple persons. Okay, creating a malicious website so that multiple users they will be simply accessing those particular websites. Creating some sort of pirated softwares via these particular websites. And also not only these things, getting the accessing from the social media, especially from the Telegram and any sort of things. Even I had seen recently some 1 month on, for the last 2 to 3 years, there is no scope for the end-to-end encryption in the case of Instagram. Instagram is using these particular applications nowadays. And finally, from the removable flash memories also. And the main thing, how we are going to avoid these things is nothing but the best is nothing but proper education. We have to educate the users who are using these type of mechanisms. Okay, never ever download any sort of software from the pirated websites. We should be cautious once we are accessing or also doing any sort of operations on the in the internet centers. Let me go with a small example. And once I am going into the internet centers, once I am giving some sort of credentials like a username and more passwords, temporarily those things will be stored in the cookies. That is on some sort of Trojan applications where this particular information which has been stored temporarily in the cookies are permanently stored in the system. And once our credentials has been available, the attacker can do any sort of operations. So we have to regularly check what we are doing, especially once you are in the public internet. Next, going to the Trojan toolkits. So here, the toolkits is a simple collection of pre-configured tools, okay, which has been used by the attacker to create and more to manage the malware. Not only creating malware will not be always a same malware will not be there. Okay, now as per the different type of requirements, the Trojan malware in such a manner that in one particular organization, one particular server, it has to steal the data. In other application, it has to encrypt the entire data. In other things, the same Trojan malware has to get the entire credential information. So the malware also Trojan will not do the same operations at every instant of time. The functionalities will be very much different. So the attacker, what he will be doing, he will be simply customizing the malware software also. So here you can see here, the first of all, we will have to check how this is, what are the different type of features that will be there. The Trojan toolkits will be having a modular and moreover easy to use application, okay, for the creation, the more deployment, deploying the required malware into the target systems. Next, it will be checking, it will be having different type of tools or also services to provide different type of capabilities. The capabilities can include the C2, that is nothing but command and more control. The attacker may be sitting on the remote location, and from there he will be controlling the entire system resources. That implies he may compromise the data, he may steal the data, he may encrypt the data, any sort of operation can be done. And next, going with the tools. Here we do have a tool called as a builders. They will be simply creating the payloads. A payload is nothing but once we want to transfer some sort of data between source and more destination, the data that I am attaching to the header or else a protocol header, that will be simply called as a payload. Okay, that particular payload may be encrypted by the attacker by using different type of tools. A normal legitimate user, okay, what he'll be doing in one particular place, he may not encrypt the data and transfer to the receiver, as the receiver is a very much genuine. We may be thinking that, but in the middle, the attacker, what he will be doing, he will be encrypting the entire data. Encrypted data will be sent to the receiver. Upon receiving, a receiver will not be getting the data. Okay, it is an encrypted format. So once again, he has to decrypt. The keys will not be available either with the source or the destination. You have to rely on the attacker. The attacker automatically shows some sort of interest regarding to the financial gain, which will be regularly done in the case of ransomware attacks. And next, going to the enhancements. We not maintain a secured environment. We have to maintain a strict encryption standards. A strong encryption standard has to be strictly followed. We have to regularly check about the behavioral based malware detection has to be implemented. If any malware has been there, okay, what is its behavior, what is the functionality? As per that thing, we have to make the required analysis, make comparison with the historical things, and avoiding now not to affect my own system resources. Not only these things, we have to regularly monitor the network traffic, especially by using the firewalls or else network routers and everything. Regularly go with the new type of updates and more patches what we are using on the genuine application. And apart from all these things, we have to regularly gather the required information, that is nothing but enumerating the required information from multiple sources to check where there is a chance of having the loopholes. So in this lecture, we are mainly discussing in detail about the functionality about the Trojan, how the distributed Trojan is very much different to that of the normal Trojan, and what are the different type of toolkits that will be simply implemented. Thank you.
Like, share, comment, and subscribe VNR Digital Learning Resource YouTube channel.